So again, just doing a bit of a nice project. Going to put a handle on that. It's going to end up, well, maybe that's the first one I ever did. Well, first and only micarta handle. It's, yeah, it feels. I was going to pare it down even more, like grind down even more, but it feels great. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. So essentially, I'm copying those two. Alright, the SE6 to rack 7. I've made a template, so let's see if I can do this. Without making myself look stupid. That's how it's going to look. Okay. So the finger guard, I've got to take a little bit. I've got to sort of round that finger guard off too, because it's going to chip. Otherwise, the finger, because these are full. Both of these are full tang. That finger guard is metal. It's not going to have any metal there, so I don't want to have it too sharp because it will chip off. Sorry about all the bird noise. Even though it is technically winter here, the bird life are just bonkers, absolutely bonkers. Now I've got to measure. So I've done all the most of the nasty stuff. Now I've got to measure this up, which I really so I've cut how many? 8. There's I've got linen micarta. There's I suppose they call that taupe or something, sort of like a browny, washed out brown. Black, I suppose they call that, I don't know, camel or sand. So most micarta knife skulls are made of linen. I'm not 100% sure why that is. It's a very durable material. It's really, out of all the fibres that I've ever worn, linen is my favourite. It feels, yeah. If you've never worn linen or felt it, yeah, give it a go. It's really quite strange. It's really smooth and silky, and just even after you finish touching it, your fingers still feel really smooth and nice. And so that's the linen, which I got from, there's a shop called, or a chain of stores called Spotlight. They have all that stuff. And I became familiar with all that bizzo because I used to actually work in the rag trade in the logistics side. So I became familiar with the ins and outs of the rag trade, which there's not much left of these days in Australia. But at one point there was a particular site that we used to go to in my job, and you had to wear all orange. Everything, your pants, your shirt, everything had to be orange. So, but eventually they realised that was just silly, being individuals. So I had all these orange pants that I had left over from it. Oh yeah, yeah, man. There's one person who I want to talk to. Brian Wagner. Look at that. The cleanest, these pants, right? So you can see that they got dirty, right? Definitely got dirty. The cleanest area is the arse, all right? Is the bum. That's the cleanest, all right, Wagner? You reckon I'm lazy and bludger? There you go. So anyway, Brian Wagner gets that. But anyway, so I made strips of orange cotton out of that. It's essentially a denim. It's like a denim. So I'm drinking Beck's, German. Anyway, so I've got to mix this garbage up. I hate, actually, I'll just be back in a sec because I've just got to set something up. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. I've forgotten the stirring, paddle pop stick, ice cream stick. I just buy them from there's a couple of cheap shops in town. I just buy it from them. just in the craft section. And they come in really useful for working with, like when you're mixing up 2-part glues and all of that bizzo. Now, so I think I'm going to make up 50, there's 100. So there's 100. 100's not enough. So we go 200. That should be enough. It's almost a whole 10. So I've almost used it all up. Cover some of this. Yeah, need a rag. There we go. I've got a supply. Tell you one thing, when my mother, God rest her soul, passed away, she left me some pretty nice stuff, and my sister's probably gonna, I don't know if I told my sister that I couldn't find them. Originally I couldn't find them, but I think she wanted them. That's my mum's old scissors, because my mum used to do just pretty amateurish dressmaking and that. You know, making stuff for my sister when she was a kid and all that. And just clothes in general, I think. At a necessity, because we were poor. But, yeah, so she had a really nice pair of scissors. I don't know where she got them from. Probably stole them. Yeah, sorry, Mum. Oh damn, I got a hole. So I might change that glove. I got a hole in it. So there's no brand on it, but they're hand forged in Italy. These are her scissors. And I tell you what, it makes a big difference from these cheapo pieces of crap. Having a serious set of hand forged scissors, and these things, now that I couldn't find them for ages, and I just found them then, just before, and so I used them. There's still some rust on there, but man, you know, I lubed them up and I gave them a bit of a sharpen, and yeah, excellent. So anyway, I'm gonna get resin all over my finger. Whatever. So you need 20 drops of 50 mils, so I need like 80 drops. Yeah, it stopped recording again. Alright, so I've got to make up some more resin. I'm not even halfway. Spewing. I thought that was going to be, because last time I made too much. This time, no. Come on. See how much I got here. 150. Hopefully that'll be enough. I'll have to be a bit sparing with the I think I was a bit messy. Still recording there. So I don't know how much of that got missed, but I was just talking about survival and what it, you know, like the romantic, like especially after what was that stupid show with Tom Hanks, where he had the basketball? Yeah, Mr. Wilson, or soccer ball. Now, you think about it. Of all the balls, this is an American. Of all the balls that an American would have with him, or find, would be a soccer ball. I doubt it. Be baseball or a American football, or a basketball, more likely. Alright, so that's... No, I've got 200 again. Excellent. Alright, so... That's empty, and it's not cheap, because I don't buy it in bulk, so... Let's see how many drops of this I got left. Hopefully there's enough. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. There you go. See, I should have done 80, I think. There. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be accurate, man. I've seen some people doing 2-part work and just give it a squirt, no measurement. So it would appear that it doesn't really matter. Put that in there. So there's a good reason why micarta, when you buy micarta replacement handle scales, why they cost so much. Number one, just the materials, and unless you're doing it on an industrial scale, it costs money. This is not a cheap hobby. But as far as I'm concerned, if you want the best, you want micarta, and you're just gonna have to grin and bear it and fork out the money. Where's the thumb? That's the thumb. Oh, man, I hate reusing gloves. Oh. I just got glue all over myself. I hate having to do this because now you can't avoid getting covered in this shit. You've got it everywhere now. You cannot avoid getting covered in this shit. So yeah, if you don't like messy jobs, oh man, there's some in there. If you don't like messy jobs, then don't do fiberglass resin work, because it is messy. So you're probably looking at me going, "Wow, man, what a putz!" But I've got some glue in there, so it's sticking. Anyway, let me put the glove on. The glove will be stuck to me by the time I'm finished. Like that finger is just totally covered in glue. Not those fingers want to go in. Yes, but that finger. There's just a ton of glue in there. It's just there's a ton of glue. Yeah, I'll have to do it like that, looking like a complete Gumby. Oh, come on, oh, man. Come on, get on there. Alright, finally got the gloves on properly. Oh, doesn't matter. That was better. I've just torn the back off, but the front's alright, so that's all that matters. So now, alright, so I'm halfway. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I'm not halfway. How many is there? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I might cut less of them. Doesn't matter. Alright. meticulous about wiping off the excess. Whatever. Just hope I got enough resin, because I've got another tin of resin, but it's a different brand and I'm not sure what catalyst they use, because it might not be the same, which I don't know if it's polyester resin then as well. Just yeah, I don't know. Anyway, on the subject of survival, it's become a real money spinner for a whole bunch of people. Is that a problem? I don't know. So I'm going to put it in there like that. Like that. And then start again. So go backwards. Okay. This camera's drive me crazy. It just keeps switching off without warning. I'm constantly looking up to see if that red light's on or not. Yeah. But anyway, so it's I don't like doing it. It's a really messy job. Yeah, I'm glad I never got involved in the fiberglass manufacturing industry, because that's horrible. Keep those separate. So here's a couple of tips. So this is the second time I've done it. There's really not a lot to say. I mean, there's heaps and heaps and heaps of videos about making micarta. So, and no doubt they do it a lot better than what I do. But yeah, it's the result that counts. So I'll be interested to see how this one comes out. This one came out all right, but I used military canvas from a French duffel bag, and it's a very coarse canvas, but that linen is even coarser weave, so see how it turns out. This one feels great. It just, yeah, micarta's hard to describe. And the handle skulls in the Rat 7 and the SE6 are beautiful, like real works of art. No doubt about it. Yeah. So what I've got to do now, so I don't know how much of that was, that's the shape of the handle, essentially a copy of the SE6 or the Rat 7, except that I've rounded that finger guard off a bit, because there's not going to be any steel there, unlike the SE and the Rat. So I'll be more prone to damage, chipping in that, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to round it off. The one on the handle on this, it's sort of square there, so I've got to round that off a bit more, and just round everything off a bit more, I think, on it. And other than that, it feels like a really good handle, actually. Yeah, but so I'll report back to you once I've got. I'll probably have to bake it. That's what happened last time, because it was a similar sort of temperature, similar sort of climate when I did it last time, and I did have to bake it. It didn't take long. It doesn't take long to bake. It took me about, I don't know, about an hour. I had it about an hour on, I think, 80 degrees or 60 degrees, something like that, and it cooked it in no time. It was rock hard. And then the fun begins, shaping. Although it should be a little bit easier this time, because I've actually got a scroll saw. Hopefully you can handle that. So a lot less grinding when you've got a scroll saw, like especially if you're doing kydex, you've got to have a scroll saw, like, to shape. A bandsaw is too angular, scroll saw, you can do the finer, fretwork, which you can't do with a bandsaw. So I've got it's only cheapy, but I've got one. So until you see part 2, see you later.